Hello everybody, this is my 20-second review of movies to come out in 2025. Today we're talking about Death of a Unicorn. This is directed and written by Alex Scarfman. This is his first feature film at least. And yeah, he did both. He was the visionary behind it. It was distributed by A24. It stars Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd. Would I recommend Death of a Unicorn? Absolutely not. I kind of hated this movie. The concept genuinely offended me, but before we go into that, let's go into everything else wrong with the movie. This is an A24 movie where some average people show up at a secluded home owned by unlikable, eccentric one-percenters. I was just talking about how annoying this concept has gotten, how overused it is with the movie Opus, but yeah, it's just annoying and so overused at this point, and every one of these movies now feels so derivative of other movies. But I think A24 really needs to step up their game if they want to get that reputation back. Not to say all the movies they're distributing is bad, I really did like Friendship. But man, I mean, again, this Like Opus feels like an A24 parody almost. Again, this movie is very derivative. It feels like a mix between Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and like Saltburn, which are two movies I already hate. The Jurassic World element comes in because this movie does that whole don't fuck around with nature message, that man versus nature, Moby Dick kind of way. Basically, the movie is about Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega are on a business trip to this rich guy's house, the same rich guy from Saltburn actually, and Paul Rudd is his lawyer, and they run over a unicorn. Paul Rudd packs it into his car because he's an unlikable asshole in this movie. The unicorn dies, and they learn that they can use it to cure things. Jenna Ortega has like acne in the movie, and the unicorn gets its blood on her, and her acne goes away. And then they try it on other things, eventually try it on the old guy's cancer, and it heals him completely. Paul Rudd is an actor that I do really like. I also really like Will Poulter, who's in this movie, but I just hate the material they were given. Paul Rudd is just so unlikable in this movie. I felt like they were going for like a Han Solo kind of like greedy asshole, but deep down he's got a heart of gold. But he just comes off as the asshole part in this movie. There's nothing likable about the character. I don't know why the dad characters in all these movies have to be so unlikable. They have to be like the biggest pieces of shit on the earth. Like, not all teenage girls hate their dads in this way. I don't know whether they're always written like this. But Will Poulter's character was supposed to be comedic relief. He's like an addict, rich kid, but the humor is just so obvious. The movie is constantly making references to like modern concepts for comedy, and it feels like it's using like references to modern things as like replacements for comedy, because it's not funny. There are a couple of funny moments, but I completely owe it to the actors, not the writing. Jenna Ortega's character is the type of protagonist who I would prefer if they weren't in the movie. She feels like a bad kids movie protagonist, where she's warning the other characters, don't be greedy. She sees a picture that she took of a tapestry at a museum that's like of a unicorn, and she researches it and learns all about unicorns, and so she warns the other characters. Not only is this dumb and cliche, but no one even listens to her because she doesn't have agency over the story since she's like a kid, and so it just kind of feels pointless and annoying. In Jurassic Park, they do this better by like not really having this type of character, or like kind of having the type of character with like Jeff Goldblum who's kind of warning the group, and like the other characters become more and more skeptical as they learn about the dinosaurs. Part of what I like about that Jeff Goldblum character is he doesn't really feel like he's like preaching to the other characters, like maybe a little bit, but he seems genuinely curious like what's gonna happen. But having it like spelled out from the start by the main character is just dumb and makes it so obvious where the story is gonna go. It makes the movie feel longer, because I think when you know exactly how a movie is gonna be structured based on like how the main character is like warning the other characters, it just kind of removes tension. Can for once in my life there be a movie where the main character finds a medicine or superpower or something and just let the movie go with it for a while? Like, that would be so refreshing. Go big, go crazy, have them actually cure cancer, and then maybe something will go wrong later. But I just feel like something like that I would have so much more fun with, because we never get to see that. One of my favorite YouTube videos is this bizarre David Firth animation called Cream, where a cream is invented that just solves all the world's problems. And it's one of the funniest, most entertaining things I've ever seen, because you never see something like this. And I'm clearly not alone. I just checked, this video has 1 million likes on YouTube. Some people might think a story like that wouldn't be interesting because it's like, oh, where's the conflict then? And it's like, no, watch the video. They find a conflict. Actually, that video has a more intelligent and unique criticism of the upper class, so I guess Cream gets it all right. This is a feeling I get a lot because I watch a lot of movies, but I feel like every screenplay is just the same boring rubric, copied and pasted over and over, and it's so uncreative and mindless, and I just want to see something new. Let's get into the worst thing about this movie. I find the concept genuinely very offensive, because it's a story where they provably cure cancer with the unicorn horn or whatever, and the evil characters are attempting to cure cancer as a whole by replicating the unicorn, or at least, like, the biology of it, so they can cure cancer. Wow, so evil. Yes, I know they're kind of just doing it out of greed and self-preservation, and I agree that they're super unlikable, but if you're going for that Moby Dick or Jurassic Park type message that man shouldn't mess with nature, or nature will win, don't do it like this. All I could think about is how awful this movie's message comes off for people who have cancer, or for people with family members with cancer. I think it's really upsetting to be told that it's evil to want a cure, which I genuinely do think is inadvertently the message of this movie. Like, we breed and kill animals all the time just so our food tastes better. I mean, we could get protein without eating meat. So, like, fuck it. Why don't we just breed these unicorns 1 million times and then have the cure for everything? I don't understand how this is so immoral and why the movie frames it that way. Because the way it's framed, it comes off as if the movie's saying it's immoral to want a cure for cancer. Just, what? So many moments in this movie just do the most predictable thing. There are points where, like, the music cues make it so obvious what's gonna happen. Like, there'll be a stop in the music and you'll be like, oh, okay, that character's gonna get stabbed by a unicorn horn. And he does! And then there's a character in front of a bookshelf in one scene, and I thought the exact same thing, and the exact same thing happened. The music stopped and then she got stabbed by a unicorn horn. It's so obvious and predictable. There's a scene where a character makes, like, the unicorn horn into powder, and I'm like, okay, the addict rich kid character is going to snort it. And in the next moment, he was snorting it like cocaine. Wow, so creative. They just do the most obvious thing at every point of the story, even if it doesn't make sense. Also, there's a really distracting continuity error near the end of the movie where, like, they go into the house in the middle of the night, and then, like, I'd say an hour or two movie time, they leave, and it's like the middle of the day. I mean, maybe I misunderstood how much time had gone by, but I really don't think I did. I think it was just an awful continuity error. Also, the ending is so dumb. The unicorns save Paul Rudd, and the sequence feels like a Skylanders cutscene, and then he and his daughter are arrested, and they become suspects for the death of the rich family, and they drive to the police station. They're in the back of a police car, and the unicorns run up to them, like, flip the police car over, and then the movie just ends. They kind of, like, hug and, like, smile at the camera, like, do a smirk, like, oh, we're prepared, we're gonna be saved by these unicorns. But, like, the police officer that captured them didn't do anything wrong, really. And it's, like, also, how are we supposed to know that they would, like, be safe? They were on the edge of a cliff? Like, maybe they just died. I don't know. It's just so weird. And considering that the whole movie was about how, like, nature isn't subservient to man, and these unicorns aren't here to just, like, serve us and help us, it's so dumb to end it with them doing just that, just because these are the nice humans. A lot of movies get this wrong. Mickey 17 kind of did the same thing, and it really pissed me off. Anyways, I despise this movie. I do like a lot of the actors, and I think they are bringing a little bit to the material, even if I hate the writing. Most of the cinematography looks pretty good. There's actually a couple music choices that I liked a bit, but pretty much everything else about the movie I just hated. So I'm gonna give this a very, very low 1.5 stars out of 5. I thought it was awful. Next week, I'm going to want to talk about the Minecraft movie. I really want to talk about Adolescence, directed by Philip Borontini. So subscribe to see those reviews and many more coming soon. In the description, I will put a link to my Letterboxd list ranking all the movies I've seen of 2025 so far. Here's the ranking so far, and there's Death of a Unicorn. Also in the description, you can find a link to my playlist of every single one of my YouTube reviews from 2025. You can also find that on my channel page and on the left side of your screen. Thank you for watching. Comments and likes are very much appreciated. They help boost me in the algorithm. And that's it. See ya.